Hello, we are live in our Wise Woman interview series. And I am so excited to bring to you the Lori Love Jones. Oh my goodness. There's so many references in our interview series where we will say, "Oh, because of Lori. Well, Lori said, well, Lori shared, Lori. This is Lori. And I was first introduced to Lori. We realized it's been over 25 years. It was through a friend, and she was a massage therapist and then referred Lori, who's also a massage therapist, and they were roommates. And we only lived less than a mile apart, and we were able to do a number of different things together, all sorts of activities. And we wished, of course, that we had done more because part of her journey, and she's going to share her story, that she decided to move. And so now we get to do life at a completely different level, fast forwarding 20 plus years later, and how our paths have connected. And Lori is at the root of all of our experiences here in the Worthy Collective. And I want you to know her to such a special level because of what she exudes, the resourcefulness that she has, the evolution she's had and she's in right now. And she's going to speak to every part of you. That person that was fearful to do something new, that person was challenged to think of relocating physically, mentally, all the things. She's going to talk about how she chooses to show up for self-love, and she's taught us that it is self-respect. And what she's working on now, that you can reach out to her and be encouraged, empowered, and inspired by her action and the core of who she is. And we are all so much greater because we know Lori. So, Miss Lori, tell us and share with us more.
Oh, thank you, Maggie. Thank you. Okay. Um, wow. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for interviewing me. Um, part of my, Let me start with the story of unconditional love. That is the foundation for my family. Um, and while going to church as a young girl, I was fascinated by the stories of Jesus and spreading the good news, healing people, turning water into wine. As a young girl, I wanted to be like Jesus. So I wanted to do something I love. So, with those prayers being put out there, asking God to bring that forth, right out of high school, I went to massage school. I had a gift of naturally rubbing people's shoulders and necks at our family barbecues. So right from high school, I went to massage school. Um, and about 6 months into the program, I stopped. Not because of the massage part, but because of the confidence part. Part of the program was to get up and speak in front of your fellow classmates. And I didn't have that confidence as a young, fresh out of high school teenager. So I stopped. Um, and then about 7 years later, I finally went back to massage school with the tools of get Toastmasters. I knew I had a issue. There was a challenge of me not being able to get up in front of the class, and that was part of the curriculum. And if I wanted to graduate, so me being a natural problem solver, I said, what do I need to do? I need to gain confidence and hone in my skills in speaking and being able to complete this. So sure enough, I found a local Toastmasters group and I went for over a year and then I went back to massage school. And I'm so grateful I did because it's been one of the greatest things I've been able to have purpose. I don't have children. Um, I feel like I'm a mother to my clients that I've been serving for over 25 years. It's just been a miraculous, amazing, uh, amazing career that I've been able to. I don't say career, I should say more of a calling. And I want to tap a little bit more into that because I am very intuitive. And what that means is I'm a feeler. I feel things. I hear the Holy Spirit. I hear divine guidance from the small voice that comes from within me. So at about 15, I my girlfriends and I were going out, and I heard the voice said, "Do not go out." And so I had my girlfriends take me home. Well, that night they got in, not in bad trouble, but they just, something happened that shouldn't have happened. And I was just so glad that I was not there and I listened to that voice. So that started grooming me or conditioning me to listen to that voice. So going through massage school and then starting to work at a healing center and developing the touch with the intuition, it truly helped me anchor my faith and trusting myself that there was more than just the physical, that there's, so yes, so through massaging for 25 years, I also had to hone in the skill of taking care of me. Um, a teacher once said, "You can only help heal someone to the magnitude that you've healed yourself." And that was fascinating to me. So I had to do some really deep soul work, and with her help, my mentor, um, and just really get vulnerable and raw and heal a lot of the the lower vibrational feelings that I was going through, anger, frustration, and clearing that so that when I touched people, I was a clear channel for those people, for God to work through me to help heal them or have their pain go away. So I wasn't healing them. It was, I'm the vessel, the conduit to bring forth that energy. So it's been such a truly a blessing. Um, and within the last 5 years, I've heard the inner voice came through, and it said, "I want you to lead the masses." And I thought, oh my gosh, what does that seems huge. So I sat with that. I meditated, I journaled, I asked God, I said, okay, if you want me to do this, I need help. I'm not doing it alone. So that being said, I ran it, Maggie and I reconnected. And um, we, she's the founder, but we came together. I'm one of the founders of our worthy community. And it's been such a great um, pressure off of me because I'm one person and I know my skills, and having this worthy community for all of us, and we're growing every day. It's just been really good for my soul knowing that I have another part of a mission now because I've been massaging 25 years, and the mission, that mission's slowly coming to an end. So I'm pivoting and embracing this new mission of being able to empower women and teach women and share with them the wisdom that I've accumulated over the past 25, 30 years. So
Such
um,
a beautiful share and that journey. I know so many of us have been inspired because to recognize that gift at such a young age, and some people, you know, haven't recognized, and I say people because it's not just women, it's all of us in general, that we have done something when we're young and it's become natural. It's become just it's what we do. And then you went that direction, then you're like, oh no, wait a second, abort, 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 public speaking, that spot where you were like, there's probably another way. And
yeah, it was.
what I love and see at that age of being so young that you were on a path and you said, I want this. And I'm willing to, and what you've taught us in the Worthy Collective, it's been so beautiful, is that we must ask. So you believed in yourself, you asked, and then you allowed Toastmasters to swoop in and allow you to learn new skills so that you could receive the gifts of your skill and step in. We call it the raising the bar in the collective, where you're in that infinity loop so that you did that then at such a young age and you did it, you know, the whole process of learning, like you said, that greater skill of healing and truly doing the work. And what's so special to me is that I had a massage from you way back when, not as often as I would like, because I had the massage through the friend I was introduced to, which was always hard, like, ah. And now, in this last year that I got to spend my birthday with you, the massage was like literally nothing I had ever experienced.
Mm.
And it was so special to see where you've come because partly through that journey, you decided to relocate from Michigan to Nashville. And there's a significance there for moving. Like a lot of people, like taking your stuff and putting it in a box. And for everything that doesn't fit in your box, you have to decide where it goes. Does it go to the garbage? Does it get donated? Do you sell it? There's a lot of decisions. And yet you relocated your business at that time because you couldn't physically serve the same people. And that willingness there, I think, is so phenomenal because you are willing to start again. And that refresh and that restart, I believe, is so special to your journey and story. And I know that you know it's significant, yet I want to point this out to anyone who's watching that either doesn't know that about you and or to inspire the person who is thinking about something new and different at this point in their lives, that Lori has done it full circle. She did it from an address with a completely different location. She could not take all of her clients with her. It wasn't a move across town. It wasn't a move to take them with her. So there was a different level of confidence within herself to know she was going to create something new, better, and more amazing. We always talk about in the collective about how we can have all things in all ways, always. Like there's the word always, Always, and also always, ALL, new word, ways, Ways. And so she has been that beacon of hope to share. And what I want to point out that I've learned from Lori, so many things, like we could literally be here for days on end and hours, that that willingness that she chose into was so significant because most massage therapists don't make it past 5 years
Mhm.
because physically they have served and healed like joints and muscles and skin and inflammation and lots of terms that I'm not properly giving service to, yet physically with their hands, with their arm, with their body, and also absorbing it if they hadn't learned how not to in the
Mhm.
skill set there and the proper oil. She even talked about at one point she was having some health issues and couldn't figure out what was going on because she's so heightened aware and very, very, very tuned in, tapped in. And it was the coconut oil she was massaging with that she was allergic to. Her body, and she's literally physically hours on end using this product that is made for good, and her body, it wasn't made for her body. And so she was able to figure it out fast and adjust so that she could keep serving in her supportive way. And so all these different things that she's endured physically, mentally, and spiritually has gotten her to this place in Nashville, Tennessee, that just recently she has relocated her physical home to this most beautiful, like that backdrop behind her is real. Like this is a fireplace in her home that she has literally manifested. And
Mhm.
with that, there was lots of changes and choices, and she had withstood of great loss and love physically, like he is no longer on this earth, that when she moved, faced more of that grief. And so Lori is before you as such a beautiful spirit and woman who has overcome such challenges. And here she is knowing that she could be that woman that could massage into her 90s. She could because she has mastered the skill. Yet she knows that in which she has learned can be passed on. And when you stand on the shoulder of giants, you see far greater than you could ever imagine. And so she is a giant. She has chosen in to the challenges. She's learned, she's grown, she's evolved and evolved again and again. She's introduced us to the most incredible people. We are all giggling when we're like, yep. Yep. That was Lori. Yep. That was Lori. That was Lori again. And if you're at an age where you know what a Rolodex is, we just laugh that her Rolodex physically is like spiraling with like sparkles and oil aroma and sage and all these great things. And as I sit and drink my tea today of some of the things that she sent me over the years of saying, oh, this would be really good for you and the great benefits. So we will make sure that you can contact Lori. Yet first, we're going to ask a couple of questions. I feel like part of the questions that I had set aside, you have answered quite a number of them. So let me grab them. Let's see. What would you say is your most important lesson you've learned on your journey to success, both in life and business, that you wish more women would know?
Mm. To make themselves a priority, giving themselves permission to put themselves first on their to-do list. Because as we do that, God also will continue to bless us, or bless you as you put yourself in that space of taking care of yourself and believing in
Priority,
you. Yeah,
priority and permission. Ooh, and you said in belief. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no worries.
Ah, beautiful. And so I,
Also, surround oneself with amazing people. Surround yourself with people you want to be like.
mm,
Surround yourself with people that inspire you and that lift you, not that not people that are constantly you're lifting, but also surround yourself with really good women and men too, but definitely women that are not catty, that are positive, that are uplifting, that are healthy. I can't emphasize that enough, Maggie. That's been really a golden nugget that I would love to share with other women.
I think it's really interesting because the more work we've done on the Worthy Collective and in these masterminds over the last couple of years, to realize the significance of a woman's independence and how beautiful it is, and yet how empty and lonely and frustrating it can be to trust another person, most especially a woman, in that encouragement and how we are only focused on being better today than we were yesterday, not in competition, more in collaboration, support, encouragement, and I believe that that is the major difference maker. And so many times we get lost in the distractions, the disappointments, the doubt. What direction do we go? And when we have another woman who says, all right, shake yourself off. I call bullshit. I see greater for you. Like really being able to have that system, especially, I know that's the reason why it was an idea and it was seconded by Lori and Tamara and Stacy because we all want greater and better. And when we're not necessarily surrounded in our circle of, ground or grass that we necessarily, Lori is the master. She finds the people and she has worked so deeply on her magnetism that they find her. And some of us, our finders have been a little broken. And we find, and that's where we go back to do more work. And we've learned from her diving in and refreshing and resetting and being able to do that. And so, yes, I 100% agree.
Magnetism's a muscle. It's just clearing out and refining and getting real honest with ourselves and um, it can happen for all of us. It's a matter of us choosing, do we want to stay in the past or do we want to keep moving and evolving and growing? So it is a choice. And so
So,
yes, choose it, ladies, choose it.
so let's see. How do you maintain focus and clarity on your vision, especially when faced with challenges or self-doubt?
Hmm. I am one to spend time alone when I'm going through something transformational. And I really pour into myself. I rest, I get massage, I do yoga, meditation, journal, out in nature, exercise. I just got done doing a 10-day cleanse because I know I'm at a pivotal point in my life, and so really self-care is the most important thing for me when I'm going through something like that.
So
Something,
good.
so
And I think what you just highlighted is the tools that you have reinforced and you had shared on a Saturday morning call. I'll never forget because I was looking outside and it was like the way the sun hit where I was sitting and you had shared the stat that we reset our body 200% when we're in nature. And it was one of those where I was like, huh. How many of us are sitting at a desk in a cubicle somewhere in a dark space or like even in my, I was thankful that I had light that day, but like when was the last time I actually made the appointment with myself to walk outside? And that's free. Like it's not a gym membership. It's not anything complicated unless we don't do it. And it does become complicated because we don't plan for it. So I remember you shared that and was like,
yeah,
I didn't know
resetting
that. That's one of her.
the nervous system runs everything. So it's a matter of resetting and putting yourself into a new place, removing yourself from one place into another place and outside. Mother Nature resets us unbelievably.
So
So
beautiful. If you could give one piece of advice to a woman who is stepping into her power and striving for the best selves outside of priority, permission, and belief, is there anything more that crossed your heart?
priority. So, being of service and sharing.
Mm.
Um, Sharing yourself with, if you need to do a volunteer or someone, let a friend know that you're available for them. Being of service is really God's way of using us. So opening yourself up to the possibilities of being used, is really powerful. Slowing down, connecting, and say, okay, God, what do you want me to do today? Who can I help today? Who can I be a contribution to today? And then listen. The opposite side of that is listening, and we're far too often too busy to listen, and that is really can get us in trouble. So slowing down and listening and giving back, being generous with your time, um, and if it is, I would say is a really good spot to start or to reflect on.
I
So
think another one that I remember, because that is beautiful because that's what's in our control. And it's also the unique place of what I know that you've been complimented on from Charlotte, who we've gotten to know through our Worthy Collective because of you. And she was your mentor, and how she complimented you on being willing. You've always been willing to keep showing up, evolve. And one thing that you said one day, I know we were in a spot in the Worthy Collective, and somebody was having a challenge and they were sharing it. And I saw you on the Zoom and you took a deep breath and you said, well, how about you start with gratitude? And it was that shift that I literally watched all of us on screen, which is always an option, not a requirement, to be on a Zoom with your video on. And you said that, and all of us, I think, all took a deep breath in that reminder that gratitude within is so important. And it's what we can do right there, right now, wherever, however. You've said it before in traffic. I traveled with you and we hit all sorts of weird Nashville traffic and we shifted in gratitude. Like you're sitting in this beautiful Mercedes and we were chatting and how we get to be in traffic, even though it was awful. And that shift was such a great reminder. And so that I know, and I'm selfish because I've been in gratitude, yet I take it to a different level because of your reminder to us when we forget. So that in which I've seen, I get to be blessed because I've been around you so consistently.
Yeah,
Well,
it's I can't say enough about it. It's extremely powerful and it really grounds us even deeper into, our soul and our connection with source. And yeah, so I'm grateful to be grateful.
and you are the goddess of great gratitude. So we get that reminder and we're like, and lastly, how do you balance ambition and the rest, ensuring you stay aligned with your values to avoid burnout, exhaustion, overdoing it?
Well, again, it goes back to self-care, self-respect, self-love, um, taking care of myself mentally, physically, and emotionally, and being in harmony and in balance in my relationships, with my friends, with my family, with my love, um, being consciously aware that, and myself. So being consciously aware of how much gas I have in my gas tank, how
Mm.
much, in each one of those quadrants. So awareness, um, self-care, um, know thyself is extremely important and um, important in my life and important for all of us to know. Because once we know ourselves, we know another person. So it's so yes.
I know that I've learned that that identity is possible when we decide to embody that in which we see for our future. And based on your tools and those extra exercises, the questions that you've put within our business circle to be able to say, okay, great, it's time for you to care for yourself. And when we are looking for a massage therapist to have that gift, yet also the gift of knowing that the person who is working with us chooses that too, to know that you do get your own massages because you know the value, not because of what you do as a service, but because you know the value. And I'd say that full circle authenticity, genuine learning that you have taken and you apply is what I'm most excited for you for your future because that realness is something that you haven't had to think twice about because you've done it. And that's why you've been able to massage at a point in your life where most hadn't, wouldn't, six times over. And also to the clientele that you have that are very high-powered performers, business owners, incredible, incredible people that when you work at a high level, you play at a high level, and there's greater needs, and how you've shown up in those relationships that have blossomed into such incredible experiences and relationships outside of being massaged. I had the honor of meeting some of your beautiful clients, and yet that magnetism because of who you are and what you've worked on is so beautiful. So I am so grateful to have crossed your path and stayed on your path and reintroduce your path and be a part of your path. And so I know when we officially launch this, that if you're watching and you've been following Lori and you've been interested and intrigued, you'll see the link where you can click on her link to see what she has going on because is working on so many great things and she wants to be able to bless you with what she's learned so that you can apply and make that transformation that you choose and become that butterfly that you were meant to be. So thank you, Lori, for being you and evolving, and like Charlotte said, being willing because that has been such a gift for all of us.
Thank you.